Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. Hey, I'm your host for LT Productions. You are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Married to Medicine. This is season 11. I think this is episode 18, Reunion Part 2. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can comment and you can subscribe. Let's get into it. I will say this. I think that the second part of the women's portion I wasn't too interested in. And really, the men's part is what really got me. I'll talk briefly about before the men came out. Of course, we know that Gregory was separated. I'm about to get pissed. They took all of these precautions for Greg and King to make sure that they weren't around each other. And you let a woman threaten Kenya Moore with whips and pistols. And you did absolutely nothing. So we're going through all these formalities on camera. Greg asking, where's Letitia at? Filming. Like you've never been to one of these shows. These filmings of reunions. But anyways, to go back to the women, Heavenly and Contessa are going at it. Contessa insults Heavenly. Heavenly insults her. Contessa then goes and she's weaponizing, oh, I had a mastectomy. And why would you talk about that? Well, you just talked about her boobs. And I think that's why Heavenly just was not really with it. Y'all could say, oh, I apologize all you want to. And y'all could say, oh, she's just trying to shut down the situation. No, because talking with Contessa is not talking with Contessa. Contessa does these things and she's been doing it all season long. You try to argue with her, she's going to come back and try to weaponize something. And as intelligent as she is, she's very stupid when it comes to reality TV. And how she decides that she's going to converse with people. People will disagree, but I can state my facts. What can you do? Outside of, I don't like Dr. Heavenly. Yeah, so it's impossible, and Heavenly wasn't just going to go with her. Quad for the second time is whacking Letitia front, back, left side, right side, all that good stuff. But whatever, she stayed there. Is there any hope of reconciliation between Heavenly and T? Heavenly said, look, I respect you because at least you showed up to the reunion. That's crazy that you get more respect from these ladies than what the icon of Bravo is. Or in people's minds. You know that other heifer. That's rich. So at this point, T was like, look, maybe we can be cordial, possibly unblock each other. Whatever. The ladies go into the back and the men come forward. They talk a little bit about Greg and King. And Greg wanted to know, why did King act that way towards him? King says, I don't have anything against Greg and I can take accountability for my actions. And he ended up saying, it doesn't look like we're going to get a handshake out of both of you all. So obviously, there's something that Greg wants to hold up against King, even though King is coming in very submissive and accountable for what he's done. So what is the issue? You're talking about, why did King act this way? Why are you this way? The men chime in about, King was trying to, settle some things. And then this happened. And it looks like King was trying to work towards something as far as them getting in a cool place, but you weren't. So I guess they're going to get back into that conversation again because it seems very chopped and screwed, and I don't know what was happening there. So Greg and Damon finally hash it out, and I knew this was the reason as to what was going on. They talk about Heavenly calling Greg the P word, the P file, which she hashtagged it. Greg thinks that was going to hurt his business and all that, But Damon did say, well, y'all were branding me a cheater. And that does go against your career. It can, especially in whatever career you got. And you're trying to tell me that being a cheater is not going to affect business? If people don't think that you're an upstanding person, you can't do that. In politics, you can't be cheating on your wife. Or spouse, I'll just say that much at this point. And you think if people know your mess as a doctor, that they're really going to want to have you as a doctor because we trust you in the care that you're doing to our trying to get us better with our bodies. So don't think that now the P-file is a very strong thing. I will not take that away. I'll be fair. Still cheating on your wife is also something that people will look at you crazy about. If I'm lying, I'm lying. But I think that because of how spooky it is to say somebody's a pedophile than just a cheater, because we get cheaters every day. I think that's where people are running to and going to continue to run with and not understand what was happening last season. So, Damon did not like that Greg did not stand up for his character. Like, we're friends and you just sat there as a coward. A coward! Yeah, a coward. And you couldn't speak on that. And that's where I have a problem with it. When I actually, do you think I'm a cheater? Da, 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 da. Nobody knows what you do, but it could have been still like, hey, look, from what I know that you're an upstanding person, I don't know that you to be a cheater, da, 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 da. You could be doing it, but I don't know it. And until they show me evidence, I'm going to say that you're not a cheater. You could have, since we're friends. Then things got out of control with T and Heavenly. All of a sudden, Greg stops taking the referrals that Dr. Damon was giving him. Greg says that it had nothing to do with what was going on. And Damon's like, well, it's quite a coincidence, and I'm paraphrasing, when as soon as we start falling out, all of a sudden you aren't able to take on the referrals that I was giving you. All of a sudden, he says that he stopped taking the referrals is because those patients were high maintenance. And I believe that Dr. Greg is a weasel and a snake. And instead of admitting his wrongdoings and saying I was being petty, even as a 56-year-old man, he'll just keep up this lie. Of course, the women backstage are defending their men, and whatever was going to happen between Heavenly and T was out the window because they're too busy trying to defend their men. I'm on Damon's side on this. I believe that Damon wasn't so quick to speak up for Greg because Greg didn't speak up for Damon. And I said this. I knew where he was coming from. Y'all thought that he was just letting his wife get by. Y'all wanted him to check Heavenly for doing that. I mean, and then on top of that, Greg was being petty in regards to not taking his referrals. Something in the buttermilk is not clean. Do I think that Greg should have responded in that way? No. I mean, it's not the most adult thing. I will give you that. But don't act like that there is no cause, that there's no reaction to the cause as to what's going on. Greg's not totally all right. Dr. Damon's not all right. Dr. Heavenly is not all right. T is not all right. Some people are able to apologize and forgive, and some people will just be stank. Dr. Damon did forgive. He said he forgives because God tells us to forgive, and I'm a forgiving person also. So they're moving on. I don't think that they'll be the same again, but oh well. Stuff is happening backstage. The women are giving their commentary on what they're hearing and all that good stuff. Toya says something because Brownleaf is just trying to defend her man and windmill for this man that's just not accountable. I think he apologized. Did Dr. Damon apologize? I think he apologized. But anyways, whatever he did, he tried to be an upstanding person even after airing out his grievances. Anyways, Toya ended up saying something about Greg was just speaking up for himself. It was something to the effect of Greg seems to be the only voice in your house and you need to be speaking up. Da, 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 da. They got on the subject of the exes being on the show or somebody's ex being on the show. Quad gave her commentary, and I'm glad that she tore the roof off of this thing. Why did y'all let my ex come on this show? She didn't say it like that, but basically, boom, there it is. Simone says that you gave us your A to kiss, and we decided to hang around people that was giving an F about us, and you got your karma that you deserved. I said, karma? Karma. Simone, you have lost your mind. You lost your mind. You say that this is karma. I don't understand, but see, doctors are arrogant. And it's a thin line between humility and arrogancy between doctors, because doctors have all of this education and this way of fixing people's bodies that they are easily able to think that they are more higher than God. If you really get that big head like that, it's a thin line between there. So somehow you thought it was karma because Quad wasn't hanging out with you, and you are still pissed the hell off about the Sister Circle comment that happened 6 to 7 years ago, when you were taking that maggot side and trying to act like that there was no abuse in the relationship, as if you know what was going on in their home. You were one of them along with Mariah. Andy had to tell you. No, he admitted to abusing her, and they abusing each other. And you act like y'all judgmental doctors will stand by your man, which I don't believe that. If Jackie had left Curtis, Simone would have left Cecil. But she don't have enough courage to leave her marriage. Anyways, so there was another brawl, because now Simone got up and acted like everything, like Quad deserved all of this. This is wrong. This is wrong. I have no clue where this show is going to, but at least y'all are really showing who you guys are. And y'all, and many of you are evil. Y'all could just put everything on Dr. Heavenly all you want to. Many of you are evil for this show, or in real life. Hanging out with his abuser because Quad had more friends and wasn't talking to you guys without filming. That's low. Anyways, y'all tell me what you thought of this episode. I still wasn't too impressed, but you know, the second half of this episode was pretty good. T, you just, ain't that something I'm calling you, T? Yeah, you was getting whacked all over. I thought you would have been more prepared, considering how many people hate Quad. I mean, I'm surprised nobody got in your inbox and was giving you reads, and you're supposed to be friends with the most iconic reader in the world, according to some. And you got no reads. Quite interesting. Y'all let me know. Maybe this part 3 will be better from what my expectations are. Like this video, subscribe, and get into these comments. And until the next one, peace.